How's it going, adventures? Seraph here. The video you're about to see I recorded a few days prior. I wanted to test this out a little bit more before I put it out there, and actually after doing it for a couple of days, there are some things that are kind of annoying about it. Sometimes I miss having something readily available in this ring menu, even though it's buggy sometimes, but when I go to the functions, it's just a matter of retraining my brain to do what I want to do. Now sometimes if I go to map, I've noticed down here, and I let go, if I go back to that menu, it stays on map. But then other times, I'll go here expecting it to be where I last left it, and it'll be back in the default position, which seems to be like on the wishing area. I'm not sure exactly if this is something that Hoyoverse intended to be this way. But for now, you can make the most of it, I suppose, if it works for you. But you will have to retrain your brain. Anyways, if you find the rest of this video useful, I would appreciate a like and comments, and if you're new to the channel, maybe subscribe. It definitely helps me out trying to grow the channel, and once I get over 1,000 subs, I can start helping my community back by giving ad revenue from YouTube back into the community. So just want to put that out there. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video. How's it going, adventures? Seraph here. I want to share with you something kind of cool that I recently came across. I don't know when this happened. I don't know if it's because of the Sumeru update or if this has been around for a while and I'm just stupid and didn't realize it till recently, but this is really cool. Now, if you're on the PlayStation, whether it be the PS4 or PS5, this is going to apply to you. If you're on PC mobile, you know, there's shortcuts and touchscreen and whatnot, so it's not really effective there. However, if you ever do, like me all the time, play your PC mobile account crossplay on PlayStation, then this will affect you, because I don't remember the last time I played my PC mobile account on actual PC or mobile. So here it is. It's about the ring menu. So when you pull up the ring menu, and you can button map this to any button to actually bring this thing up, you've got your standard options in here. Now I'm in an 8 ring configuration, but you can make a 4 ring configuration, and I'll show you from the configuration option what that's all about. But regardless of any of that, these are the default options that Hoyoverse gives you. This is what's always going to be here if you don't edit the ring menu at all. So that's very important to keep in mind. Now let's go ahead and go to the actual settings here, under Paimon menu as they call it, controller setup. Down at the bottom it says configure shortcut wheel, square, you press that. Again, on the top right side, that's where I was talking about the direction of the wheel. 8 direction has 8 options, 4 direction is that. I guess the reason you might want to do a 4 direction wheel is sometimes in the 8 configuration you can select something like, say, the adventure book there that's next to the wish or the inventory, and it sometimes gets a little screwed up and it picks the wrong one. So if that drives you crazy, that'd be the reason to use a 4 directional wheel. And actually, with what I'm about to show you here, you could get away with a 4 directional wheel and still have 8 additional options under the ring menu. It's really weird, but follow me here. So if I hit restore defaults there, like I said, that's the standard ones that show up in there. These 8 options are always going to be the ones that whoever started out with, the standard ones. This is where it gets interesting. These 8 options can be put into a different category just underneath the ring menu. The way to do that is you want to force into the ring menu that you see there on the right 8 of these other options. Now there's 10 available, as you can see here. There's 2 extra. So you basically want to just pick 2 that you're never going to really use. In my case, I don't really feel like using the shop much in the ring menu, and I'm probably not going to use the character archive that much. So for me, those are the 2 that are on the outs. But the ones I'm going to throw in there are like party setup, friends archive, co-op, photo, mail, settings, and time, because I use those more regularly than the character archive and shop. So here's what we want to do. Deselect those, and then just put them in the order that you're going to use them the most. For me, so I wasn't going to do shop and character archive. Party setup. Oh, party setup's an important one. Okay, so top left, number 8, party setup. There we go. So I'm going to hit save settings there, right? And by the way, you can have different configurations. So if you've done this and you say you want to go to like a 4 direction wheel, you can just go to that anytime you want and then save it and apply it. It's not going to change what you did in the 8 position there unless you purposely save that differently. So the ones that aren't going to show up now are shop and character archive, because I didn't put them in that ring menu at the top. But what is going to show up now are all these other ones that are the default ones that Hoyoverse gives us. This is just really bizarre, but follow me. This is really cool. All right, so when you pull up the ring menu, before, with the default ones that Hoyoverse gives you, you won't see this thing that shows up at the bottom called function menu. But now, because I've changed any of those, you can just change even one, and it will pop down in the bottom under function menu. Watch this. Hit R3 on your joystick, and then move it with the joystick, the right, bottom right joystick. Or you might have button mapped some stuff differently on your system, but for me, default-wise, it's just the R3 to activate this, and then to move it back and forth, also use the joystick. Now you got to hold the ring menu the whole time. If I let go of the ring menu, it'll go to whatever I was selecting there. So just keep that in mind. Function. But look at that. And it always seems to be in this order. You can't change this. It just always will appear in this order. So on the far left, you'll have the wish system. Far right, you'll have the battle pass. But this is really cool. It's almost better than the ring menu because when you let go, it's guaranteed to go to what you want. And if you've ever used the ring menu, as you know, it's not very effective sometimes. Not as efficient. But isn't that amazing? Now, if you have a whole bunch of these on the bottom in the ring menu, it will lessen what shows up down here. Because what you see in the ring menu up there and those other two options I told you about will never be able to show up down here, ever. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Now, this is what's interesting, like I said. Whatever I'm not putting in the wheel is going to show up in the bottom. So since there's 4 here in the wheel, there will be 4 that show up in the bottom. The Battle Pass, the Adventure Book, what are the default ones? I think Quest, and what's the other one? Is it Co-op or something? That'll show up in the bottom. Oh, Character. Character Quests, Battle Pass, and Adventure Book will show up now in the bottom. Let me show you what I'm talking about. But that'll be the only ones that show up in the bottom. See? Isn't that crazy? And likewise, if I were to take 2 more out of the top, it will add them to the bottom, making 6. So let's just say take those 2 out there, and I hit save. Now we pull this up, and boom, they got moved to the bottom. So I personally think this is really awesome, and I appreciate stuff like this that whoever does. I don't think this was like anything intentional necessarily. There wasn't any like info on this that I'm aware of. I mean, maybe in the patch notes there was something. But this is just something really cool, and I thought I'd explain what's going on because it took me a good 30 minutes to figure it all out. I was trying to figure out why some stuff would appear in the bottom and other stuff wouldn't. Now, I'm going to have to get used to this new ring menu setup, but I can also access stuff at the bottom. And the best part about this is now you basically have 16 functions available to you at the touch of a finger. Now, a lot of people probably say, well, this is dumb. Go to the Paimon menu. It's everything accessible right here. It is, but sometimes, and this is a pause button, right? So if you're in the middle of like a co-op and you got to go to this menu here, you can't move. You can't move at all. But what you can do, and this is kind of like when I used to play Monster Hunter World, with the ring menu, I can still move around. Now, granted, I don't want to touch that right joystick, so I can't like alter the direction necessarily. But look at this, I can still move around, go to my function menu here, still move around, pick what I want, let go, and you can't do that from the Paimon menu. Paimon menu freezes you. If you're in co-op and you go to the Paimon menu, things are still happening in the background. It doesn't pause you. So, by the way, to get out of this, just hit R3 and then let go of the wheel, and it won't actually throw you into something. Again, one more time. If you're in here, press R3 to get out, let go of the ring menu, and it won't actually give you something, in case that's something that's important to you as well. Alright, adventurers, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful for your own gameplay. Hope you're having a great time with the game and getting characters you want from the banner. Make sure to like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, leave me some comments, try to put out stuff like this that's helpful. This was really cool for me to figure out on my own. I didn't see any videos out there. But yeah, you can always find stuff like this, I'm sure, on YouTube as well. Sometimes they're grouped into like bigger videos, and maybe it's a little overwhelming. So I'm just going to do things like this one at a time as I come across them. So catch you on the next one, adventures.